Welcome to the chaotic world of English conditionals, or as I like to call them, the what-ifs of English, where grammar meets emotional instability. Think of them as the linguistic versions of your 3 a.m. overthinking sessions. They help you obsess over things that might happen, could have happened, or absolutely didn't happen, but you're spiraling anyway. Conditional sentence is basically a toxic relationship, where one part can't function without the other. At their core, conditionals are complex sentences, which feels appropriate since nothing says emotional complexity like imagining 5 different versions of reality where your ex doesn't suck. Every conditional sentence is made up of 2 parts: the conditional, the if part, the hypothetical setup, and the result, the consequence, the reaction, or meltdown that follows. Grammatically speaking, one part depends on the other. Emotionally speaking, you depend on neither, because you're strong and independent, and definitely not refreshing his Instagram. The tense of each part changes depending how real, fake, or completely delusional the situation is. We use different types of conditionals to talk about facts, predictions, imaginary scenarios, past regrets, or everyone's favorite, past mistakes that are somehow still ruining your present. So let's break them down one heartbreak at a time. Zero conditional. This one is cold, emotionless, like your ex who texts only when he needs something. Let's take an example. If you date a DJ, you lose sleep and dignity. No maybe, no might, 100%. This is not a warning. This is a universal law, like gravity or your ex texting you when Mercury goes retrograde. This is a grammar of facts, general truths, and things that happen every single time. Structure-wise, zero conditional is pretty straightforward. If this happens, that happens. Always, every goddamn time. No hypotheticals, no future dreaming, just straight up inescapable reality. The condition: if you date a DJ, that's your present simple condition. And the result: you lose sleep and dignity. Present simple result. No might, no sometimes, 100%. Because this is not a one-time disaster. It's a repeating cycle that happens to everyone. That's the universal law that we all learn the hard way. If you drunk text your ex, you regret it before breakfast. If a girl says I'm fine, she's absolutely not fine. If you say I'll just have one drink, you always end up at karaoke at 2 a.m. If I don't eat at 2 p.m., I become a threat to national security. There is no negotiation, no emotion, just facts. If A happens, B happens. Every time, like clockwork or red flags. Next one is first conditional, the grammar of false hope and temporary delusion. If he texts me back, I'll forgive him. This is a grammar of realistic possibilities. It's used with things that might actually happen. It's not guaranteed, but it's possible. And because it's possible, your brain holds on to it like it's the last bottle of rosé on a Sunday night. Structure-wise, first conditional is easy enough. If plus present simple and will plus base verb. This isn't just a fantasy. This is real life, but with conditions. If that happens, this thing will happen. The conditional: if he texts me back. Present simple. A very real, slightly desperate hope. And the result: I will forgive him. Future simple. If I drink this third espresso, I'll vibrate through time. If he says he's sorry, I'll believe him for the 6th time. If he shows up with flowers, I'll pretend I didn't stalk his ex for 2 hours last night. Why this is the first conditional? Because it's not about regret. That's the third. It's not a universal truth. That's 0. And it's not a daydream where he suddenly gets therapy. It's the second. This one is about something that might actually happen. You're waiting, hoping, completely delusional, but grammatically correct. The first conditional is the grammar of emotional bargaining, negotiating with the universe, making promises to yourself that you won't ever keep. It's about real future possibilities and dumb things we hope won't happen, but probably will. This one is for really brave people who still believe that man can change. And my favorite, second conditional, the delulu conditional, used when you are daydreaming, fantasizing, lying to yourself. This is a grammar of hypotheticals that live rent-free in your brain. It's for things that aren't real, but you wish they were. Structure-wise, if past simple, and would plus base verb. This conditional isn't for regrets, that's the third, or possible futures, that's the first. This one is all about your fantasy life. The condition, if he loved me, past simple. But we're not talking about actual past. We're using past simple to describe a reality that doesn't exist. The result, he would remember my birthday, would remember the fantasy outcome. If he respected me, he would stop liking bikini pics at 3 a.m. If we were meant to be, he would have replied to my 9-paragraph text. Because none of it is real. It's all hypothetical pain. The second conditional is about unreal situations, like your toxic ex changing or me becoming a morning person. Third conditional. This one is pure regret. You're too little too late grammar. The past can't be changed, but that won't stop you from fantasizing about it. If I'd worn waterproof mascara, I wouldn't have looked like a raccoon at his wedding. Yes, he's wedding. No, I'm not over it. It's the grammar you use when the disaster is in the past. You can't change it, but your brain insists on replying it every Tuesday at 2 a.m. anyway. This conditional is for regret, for closure that never came, for when you didn't text back and now you have to live with it. Structure-wise, if plus past perfect, would've plus past participle. Or as I like to call it, if I hadn't done the dumb thing, I wouldn't have suffered the embarrassing consequence. The condition, if I'd worn waterproof mascara, the thing that didn't happen. This is the past perfect part. Had worn, the decision you didn't make. And the result, I wouldn't have looked like a raccoon at his wedding. The thing that unfortunately did happen. Wouldn't have looked the hypothetical result. If I'd studied English properly, I wouldn't have said I'm agree in front of a CEO. The third conditional is the grammar of painful hindsight. It's for lessons learned too late, for dignity lost. And last but not least, mixed conditional. It's for the moments when the past still won't let go. It's the grammar of I made a dumb decision 3 months ago and I'm still paying for it emotionally and possibly financially. Unlike the third conditional, where everything is stuck in the past, mixed conditional is when the mistake happened in the past, but the consequences are still very much alive in your present. It's basically your ex, but in grammar form. Structure-wise, if, past perfect, would, base verb. The condition, if I'd listened to my friends, the past mistake. That's your past perfect moment. Had listened, the thing you should have done. The result, the present suffering. I wouldn't be explaining to my HR why my situationship showed up at the office party. That's the present consequence. If I'd gone to therapy, I'd be able to walk past his apartment without holding my breath. Mixed conditionals are for when your past self made questionable life choices and your present self is now paying the price, usually with tears or therapy bills. So, what have we learned? Conditionals aren't just grammar. They're emotional trauma dressed up as sentence structure. They're your brain's favorite tool for writing fan fiction about your own life. Each one gives you a different flavor of delusion. Cold hard facts, zero conditional. False hope, first. Daydreams and denial, second. Regret and insomnia, third. Full-blown time-traveling emotional chaos, definitely mixed. Now, go out there and speak your conditional truths. And remember, it's not overthinking if it's grammatically correct.